I'll say, yeah. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Ooh, baby. We're gonna take a walk. We're gonna walk down memory lane. Remember 2016 when the DNC screwed their people, you remember? Were you there? Can you feel it? Bop, bop, bop. Oh, baby. Mark Conte reporting. Good morning. La, 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 la. Hey, man, I'm back. I'm at about 85, 90% full strength. I'm almost there. I can almost speak a whole sentence without coughing in your face. So that's a little better than I was. So Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning. So I want to talk about something that is important to me because, hey, listen, I wouldn't be doing this. If it wasn't interesting to me, I wouldn't do this, right? And what's very, very interesting is we're living in, there's a lot of crazy stories going on right now. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Vinny? What's up? Yeah, I sound better. My voice went up. It went up an octave again. But there's a lot of stories. And I know the Kobe Bryant thing has been riveting. I haven't been talking about it, but man, I've been watching it, right? I'm not even a basketball fan, but I found the compilation of him with 15 solid minutes of his best shots. It's like, whoa, this fucking guy. This guy rocks, right? Guy is off, amazing player, right? And what a life, what a life he lived. And you say to yourself, wow, 20 years in the one team, LA Lakers, playing in the NBA. He's a rock star. He's a rock star with a basketball, right? And to have his life just, taken from him at 41 years old, he was like right at the prime. It was like, who knew what more was in store for Kobe Bryant, right? It's very sad, a very sad thing that happened, right? And this coronavirus, man, this fucking deadly hacking cough, man, it's got me worried, right? I'm fucking sitting here coughing my ass off. Hold on a second. I'm thinking, man, what do I got? Well, I got the coronavirus, right? And they got this thing now isolated. It's still unconfirmed because it is China. They say that the Wuhan district actually evacuated half the population of 11 million people before I guess before they actually locked the door. But anyway, nonetheless, the actual Wuhan city in China is currently at half the population that it was because everybody ran away. Now, that's not a good thing. That means that, the potential for outbreak is great because where did they go? We only know of a couple of people, right? We know of a few, scattered cases here and there. At least that's what the media is telling us. But, when 5 million people scatter around the globe with a potential for spreading a virus, that's pretty serious, right? So that's going on, and the actual numbers are still sketchy. So I want to dive into this topic of revisiting the past, of the rigging of elections in our country. That's the subject of this thing. I'm going to play a bunch of videos. I dug up all these clips. Mostly, we're just going to watch some of the old clips of 2016 Philadelphia, the DNC convention in Philadelphia, where all the Bernie Sanders delegates converged, thinking that they were going to be able to overthrow the oligarchy with righteousness and fairness, and what is right is going to prevail. Right? And it turned out to be nothing close to that, but rather just an outright steal, led by Hillary Clinton. Right? Now, if you're a Republican or you're a Trump supporter, whatever, You weren't paying attention to any of that. In fact, you wanted to see Hillary Clinton win because why? Because Hillary Clinton was easy to beat. Right? So you weren't really paying attention to the degree to which Bernie Sanders got fucked. Right? You weren't paying attention to the Democratic primary. You were worried about the Republican primary with Marco Rubio, little Marco, and Ted Cruz. Right? Three stooges up on stage: Trump, Cruz, Rubio. That's what you were paying attention to, and you watching Trump landslide that field. But all along, the Democrats were doing something a little different, where there was a lead candidate, and his name was Bernie Sanders. And all along the way, they were stabbing him in the back in multiple ways, in multiple forms. How, people say, oh no, it wasn't rigged. It was just it wasn't rigged. It wasn't rigged. She won. She just got more votes. No, they canceled the exit polls. The exit polling was off by 12%, 15% in some districts. That means that's a rig. In third world countries, if an election is off by more than if the exit polls don't match the actual vote by more than 2 or 3%, that's grounds for disqualifying an election. But here, it's off 15%. It's ridiculous. It was such obvious cheating in terms of the exiting polls. In Massachusetts, they closed polling stations. In Arizona, they also closed 70% of the polling stations, purging voters off the rolls. In California, purging hundreds of thousands of voters off the rolls here in Brooklyn. There was so much cheating going on. It was hard to keep track of it all, right? And of course, the antiquated machines that we use are rigged. They're riggable, totally fucking riggable machines, right? They have contests in Las Vegas where kids come in, literally, young children come in and hack our election machines, and these are the ones we vote on. So what I'm saying is, 2016, and then the DNC, the WikiLeaks, the overt cheating, the collusion with the media, the having a what's supposed to be a fair apparatus, the Democratic National Committee, the DNC, is supposed to be neutral, working 100% with the Hillary Clinton campaign, and ambushing Bernie Sanders every step of the way, right? Clear, unequivocal cheating. Right? Now we say, well, what has changed? What has changed, Conte? Tell us what's changed. It's a different time now, right? It seems that if you watch the progressive media, if you watch all of the fruitcakes that were championing Bernie Sanders then, are still championing him now, still quoting the polls as if they matter, still failing to mention that if nobody gets to 50% of the pledged delegates, right, if nobody gets half of the vote, that the DNC will pick the candidate in a brokered convention. They've already said that that's the rules. Right, superdelegates kick in. Right, this is the reality of it. It's still a rigged primary. Right, now Bernie Sanders is on the precipice of. We've already seen some cheating. Obviously, putting 25 candidates on the field, on the stage, at one time 20 candidates, 10 and 10. 20 candidates running for president is an obvious rig. 20 people are not going to win. They know that. But the object was to stop Bernie, right? So that's one form of the rigging that we're already seeing. And, of course, keeping Bernie Sanders quiet in the impeachment hearings. Now you say, oh, that's too ambitious. Do you think that the Democrats would go through all that trouble to stop Bernie Sanders? Do you think that how self-centered, how much of a Bernie bro are you to think that the whole impeachment process is about Bernie Sanders? Well, guess what? It is that critical because, guess, if Bernie Sanders wins, if Bernie Sanders gets the nomination, everything in the Democratic Party, as we knew it, is different. It's over. Right? The oligarchy is potentially choked out. Right? And that's what they fear. They don't fear losing to Trump as much as they do winning with Bernie Sanders, and that is a sad reality, right? The other thing is this: is that people say, well, Bernie is a sellout. Bernie is a Democrat. Wants to lead a very corrupt party, and that's factually not true. Bernie Sanders has been saying the same thing over and over and over again, that the Democratic Party is deeply corrupted, that they take money from the ruling class, and he wants to change that. He said it over and over. There's no other way for Bernie Sanders to capture the presidency than to run in the Democratic Party. And currently, the Democratic Party themselves, the party moderates, I guess, Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, there is no path to the presidency for these people. Why? Because half of the party itself is the progressive wing that support Bernie Sanders. To some degree, Tulsi Gabbard. To some degree, Elizabeth Warren. But mostly, it's led by Bernie Sanders, and that also encompasses, at least it did in 2016, the wide, the bulk of the independents, the people in the middle of the country, the silent masses that will vote in mass if Bernie Sanders is the candidate. Right? Those are silent numbers right now. Right? Those people will not vote for the moderate Democrat, as we saw in 2016. That's where we're at right now. So the idea that Hillary Clinton is gonna parachute into the DNC convention, and a brokered convention, they're gonna put her name into the mix, and she's gonna be the nominee without getting a single vote. Is that a possibility for the DNC to actually do something like that? A move so stupid? Of course it is. Of course it's possible. Fucking already Bernie Sanders is a communist. Get this jerk off out of here. Goodbye. Come on, with the fucking slurs already. So, is it possible that Hillary Clinton is going to parachute in and steal the nomination away from the person who got only 49% of the vote and didn't get the 50%? Yeah, it is possible. And that is the death blow for the Democratic Party. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to go back and look at some of the... I know, trying to be nice to the guy. It's just the communist shit. It's so stupid. Look. So let's read the comments because the trolls are here. Communist, socialist. Do you know what the fuck the words mean? All right, you're out. Goodbye. You're out. Goodbye. Let's time him out and see if he... Where's the timeout button? How come I don't have a timeout button? Oh, timeout. There it is. So the point is that we're not talking about communism and socialism. So anybody who's on the thread trying to and this is the timing is perfect for this. These are the paid trolls, desperate trolls trying to spin the narrative in favor of Trump, the master, right? Or spin it away from the socialist Bernie. Right? None of this has anything to do with socialism or communism, really, or capitalism or anything. What it is the setting the country up for a new deal, a new economic reset, and that's really what we're talking about. That's not a communist idea. That's not a socialist idea. That's a common sense idea that FDR presented to this country. And then another new idea was Reaganomics, the trickle-down economic theory of the 1980s, which worked for a short period of time and then failed because Reagan and Greenspan and the rest of them and Bill Clinton, they underestimated the greed of the corporations. So we're going to try to be civil, if that's even possible. So let's begin. So here's an interesting recording. If you haven't heard this, I think I played it already. But let's listen one more time. This is Trump in his own words. His greatest fear. 1 minute. His greatest fear. Trump's greatest fear is what? Is running against Bernie Sanders. At least it was in 2016. Am I saying it? No. Listen to Trump say it in his own words.
Bernie Sanders thought about it. They rigged it. Bernie would have beat Hillary in the right now.
That would have been tougher.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there was no hatred.
Right, you're right. There was no hatred. Millennials were right.
I mean,
As great as he was, half my motivation working was not let her do it.
100%.
right.
That's why I think a big part of our
vice president would have been tougher.
Kane was what I couldn't.
But I think Bernie, because all those people that hated her so much who voted for me, I got 20% of Bernie vote. People don't realize that because of trade, because he's a big trade guy. He basically says we're getting screwed on trade, and he's right. I'm worse than he is, and we can do something about it. I don't know if he could have, but had she picked Bernie Sanders, it would have been tougher. It was the only one I didn't want her to pick. Now then,
He's the only one I didn't want her to pick. That's Trump's words on Bernie. He's the only one I didn't want her to pick. Why? Because he could have won. He should have been the candidate. And he would have brought that base, the progressive side of the party with him. Right? But that's not possible, right? Because Hillary Clinton that's not the way the thing was set up. So that's Trump in his own words saying it. It's not me saying it. So again, I got these things. This is a clip that I actually made. Listen to what I was saying back then. What's up, Price Sterling? What's up, Sterling? This is a clip that I made based on a bunch of compilations. So let's just listen for a second. I just want people to remember 2016 it's not long ago. This is what happened on the streets of Philadelphia. The Democratic Party kicked out half of the party, because they came there for a fair convention, a fair broker, fair shake, and they didn't get that fair shake.
In 2016, U.S. government officials executed the largest scale election fraud our nation has ever seen. Polling places were closed, voters purged off the rolls, exit polls didn't match the actual vote. Elections were called while people were still online voting, and millions of paper ballots went uncounted. The fake news media declared it foreign intervention, a hack. But we saw the truth with our own eyes. It was an inside job. Quid pro quo. Socialism for the rich. The U.S. government rigged the election against the American people in favor of the corporate elite. While ordinary Americans hand over 30% of their income tax to the IRS, 10,000 publicly traded companies don't pay a nickel in tax. When multinational corporations with tens of trillions of dollars in net worth, when 15 globalist banks control $13 trillion in U.S. assets and don't pay a nickel in tax, we have a serious problem. 70% of all new wealth goes to the top 1/10 of 1%. 1 in 6 Americans are left on food stamps, and another 60% don't have $400 to their name. They're bleeding us dry.
So that was just a video I made. It throws out the statistics. It was actually a campaign when I was running for the Senate. I thought it was a good idea, run against Kirsten Gillibrand just as a kind of a write-in. But again, I had all the statistics there. Has anything changed? Because I just listened to it this morning, and I'm saying to myself, has anything changed? Has the economy has the economy improved for regular people? Hell fucking no, right? So here's the latest. Let's look at some latest polls, and then we'll continue, because it does look like Bernie Sanders is going to sweep Iowa and New Hampshire. And now today, in a new poll, if we believe the polls at all, in Berkeley, California poll, California Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders 26 over Biden 15, Warren 20, right? And there you see the problem. Elizabeth Warren is a fucking hack. Right? Get out of there. Why are you in there? You're not going to win. Drop out. Right? That's Bernie Sanders. Could you imagine if Warren wasn't in there sucking off of Bernie Sanders? If Bernie Sanders actually had some balls and said, why don't you get the fuck out of here? Right? If he did that, right, call her a cunt. That always works. So there you got it, right? Today alone, excuse me. Excuse me. Get my chords together. So California primary, Bernie Sanders kicking ass. Iowa, Sanders 30 points, 30% over Biden 21. Klobuchar, I don't even think Warren 11. So Sanders he's gonna blow it away, right? What else? Iowa. Here's USA Today. They got Sanders 19, Biden 25. I don't believe it. Whenever I see that, I think it's skewed. You gotta include the kids that don't have landlines. New Hampshire Democratic primary, Sanders 29% over Biden 22. So what I'm saying is this is pretty much leading into Super Tuesday. This is pretty much the people are going to pick once again the one Bernie Sanders with no media coverage, with his hands tied behind his back in the impeachment process, with the entire Democratic establishment lining up to crucify him and smear him and lie about him, and he's still winning. What does that tell you? Does that tell you that Bernie Sanders is a sellout and he walked away and he betrayed everybody? Or does it say that he's playing real 4D chess and that if he wins this mofo, there's gonna be some serious change in this country? That's what it tells me. So what else? So that's the fake polls. And let's look at some of this. What's this? Hillary Clinton. Oh, look at this. Hillary Clinton, as I said earlier, Hillary Clinton is stuck her head out one more time on almost like a daily basis now, saying some kind of bullshit. Hillary Clinton admits having an urge to run in 2020. Let's listen.
Be out there for a very long time. They want to do it. They love him. But let's talk about Hillary Clinton, because she said at the Sundance Film Festival that she could beat President Trump if she ran in November. And then this is what she told Variety magazine when they asked her if she feels the urge to beat the president.
I know that you're not running, but do you ever feel the urge that, like, I could beat him if I were, or like I wish
Yeah, I certainly feel the urge, because I feel like the 2016 election was really an odd time and an odd outcome, and the more we learn, the more that seems to be the case. But I'm going to support the people who are running now.
Okay, what's your reaction?
Well, my reaction is this. That's going to be up to the Democrats, and they'll choose whomever they want. I'm a Republican.
She's not ruling it out. You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part of that shit, right? So, again, a stroll down memory lane. Bernie supporters stage walkout at Clinton nomination. What? This is what it looked like. Right? If you were a Republican, you were following Trump, you weren't paying attention. You were watching a Trump rally. You were loving your guy. You were loving your podium full of Trump. And all the craziness that went with the Trump stuff. But this is what was going on with the Democrats. Now, of course, they tried to vilify the whole thing. They tried to vilify the people as radicals. Look at them. They're hippy dippies. Right? Or are they? Remember this? I wasn't there, but I was watching it. It's also, I remember, it was like 100 degrees outside in Philadelphia at the time. It's hot here, too, in New York. Walking out. These are not, please go. Enjoy your Trump, asshole. Those are not just regular people. Those are delegates. Those are the people that are supposed to represent the party. They're representing the Democratic Party. Those are Bernie's delegates, right? They're not just. You don't just to go into the convention. You're not just a guest. Hold on a second. you're not just a guest. You have to have you have to be a delegate to sit in the chair, right? And then you get your credentials, right? That's who those people were. They got kicked out of the thing, right? So here's another one. Bernie Sanders supporters storm into DNC Media Center. It's just more of the same.
Because she's a liar, because she's put more people around this world in wars than any administration. She's sold more weapons than both administrations combined.
Do you think would make better president?
And remember, all along the time the news was coming out, WikiLeaks was breaking the news that they were cheating, that the Democratic Party was in collusion. Remember the word collusion? And then the Democrats spun the word collusion, that Trump was colluding with Russia. But the real word, collusion, was...
Our message is obviously we are not satisfied with Hillary Clinton being the nominee of the Democratic Party. She is not an acceptable choice to us.
So the content of the emails is what leads me here today. I believe that we were robbed. We were robbed of our nominee. I disagree with the senator that we should get behind Hillary Clinton. I do believe we need to defeat Donald Trump, but I just don't know how we can get behind her when there has been so much fraud in this campaign.
And the superdelegates, Hillary's campaign, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, rigged this election. It's never going to happen again. We will see to that.
This is a big loss for the Democratic National Convention. It's a big loss for the party. It's a big loss for the country. The Democrats had an opportunity to unite behind a candidate that brought people together. Instead, they've nominated a Warren Wall Street neoconservative that divides people.
And the American voters deserve a fair election. No, it's clearly not fair. It hasn't been fair for a long time, and that has to end now.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just all visceral commentary.
Together, we'll never be defeated. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. We're vanishing. I'm surprised you can still see us. Establishment, the things remain the same. It's not good for me. It's not good for my family. It's not good for my clan. It's not good for my tribe. It's not good for my relatives. I'm surprised you can still see us. Our land, our air, our fire, our water, being ruined by the same person that they nominated in there. I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this. It is not over.
It's like a war. It's like these are the victims of a war, and to think that they just pleasantly went away, and that somehow that they forgot how devastating it was to get ripped off like that is, I get it's ridiculous. They're victims of a war, and they're not. They're still there. We're still here. The people that got ripped off are still here and still see and still know what happened. And nothing has changed. Right? Nothing has changed. So that's why it's either there's one candidate in that mix. It's not you can't say that there's all the Democrats. There's this shit pile of Democrats, and there's this other guy, Bernie Sanders, running. That's the distinction. I just hope people could see that there is a distinction. Although Bernie plays patty cake at times, this is what he represents. This is the base of that movement that stems from FDR's New Deal, and then it reared its head in Occupy Wall Street, right? That it's the corporate elite that are causing the problems.
It's just the beginning.
It's my daughter. We're father and daughter delegation from North Dakota, and I'm heartbroken.
Why'd you walk out?
Because I'm a native and I have integrity, and I will not allow that to happen without consequence. They've taken this from us. They've set everything up, all the way from Debbie Wasserman Schultz to Hillary herself. They planned this, they set it up, they didn't give us a chance. We dedicated our lives and our spirits to Bernie. and they took this away from him. We will not let it stand.
Are we making it up? I mean, is it
Hillary Clinton's got to go!
This was supposed to be a smooth and trouble-free week, ending with a coronation for Hillary Clinton. Instead,
Bernie beats Trump! Bernie beats Trump!
it's the return of the burn. Day one, morning one of the Democratic National Convention.
Everybody settle down, please.
And angry, jeering for the now outgoing head of the Democratic Party's National Committee, suddenly the focus of fury over leaked emails suggesting the party itself worked against Bernie Sanders and for Hillary Clinton in their battle for the Democratic presidential nomination. Bernie Sanders' backers are livid. They now believe the system was rigged against their candidate all along.
It feels
the mainstream media will report it. They feel that the thing was rigged against their candidate. No, it was rigged, CBS. It was rigged.
to me like it's confirmed what a lot of us have alleged for months. So at least we now have proof.
And as they gather in Philadelphia to officially nominate Hillary Clinton to run against Donald Trump, it's clear this is a party in turmoil. And adding insult to emails, Sanders supporters are getting little sympathy from the Clinton side.
It's not fun to not win, but that's what happened. And this is democracy, and we have to go forward with the winner.
Before the day was done, some 50 pro-Sanders demonstrators were arrested when they tried to block delegates from entering the convention. The party itself has now reached out to Sanders' backers, offering a deep and sincere apology for the inexcusable remarks made over email. Will it ease the infighting in a week meant to be a warm-up to the looming larger battle with Trump? Amid all the chaos, Sanders today himself urged his supporters to set aside their anger and come together for a common cause.
We have got to elect Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine.
That was Bernie Sanders' worst moment of 2016. We have got to elect Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine. Bernie's a nice guy. Bernie believes that the party, that you could probably get more done. His view of, at least you can manipulate the Democratic Party a little bit, but if the Republicans take over, you've got to take on the president and the entire Republican Party to get anything done. So his view was, the lesser of two evils, and I think most people believe that we've had enough of that, right? Burn it down with Trump, right? Bernie said that was his worst moment. Hey, listen, Joe Rogan said about people, he said you can, especially people that talk for a living, that speak all the time, like a politician or a celebrity of some sort, right? You talk all the time. Eventually you're going to say a lot of stupid shit. And somebody could sew all of the stupid things you've said together, right? Sew them all together and play them right one after another, right? Of the 5,000 hours that you spoke, they could take the top five, the stupidest 5 minutes of your life and play it, and you sound stupid. And that's what the point is, that with Bernie Sanders, it's really hard. Those moments are rare. Right? That was one of them. When he said vote for Hillary Clinton. Now, not everybody agreed with him, right? And certainly it didn't work out for him, right? It didn't work out. The people spoke, right? And now we've got Trump. So it might have been the best thing, because if Hillary Clinton would have gotten in, we wouldn't be talking about Bernie Sanders right now. We wouldn't be talking with Hillary Clinton, a Democratic president, we wouldn't be talking about Bernie Sanders' insurgents. So it may have been a gift. It may have been the best thing that happened, that Hillary Clinton, that he encouraged people to vote for Hillary Clinton, and she fucking lost. But anyway, so let's continue. I got a lot of clips here. What's this one? I don't even know what they are anymore.
Campaign has greatly expanded the Democratic voting base and continues to maintain broad-reaching support, which, when coupled with polling data, signals a significantly greater chance of Senator Sanders defeating Donald Trump than Hillary Clinton, whose public... I want to explain what this coffin is. Basically, the 1% needs we the people to move mountains. We the people do not need the 1%. That's what this is. We run this country. That is correct.
I'd agree with you there too, Sterling. That when Bernie says Trump is the most dangerous president, I cringe when he says that too. Trump is not the most dangerous president. I mean, he's actually one of the most steady-handed presidents in terms of foreign policy. He's not pushed into making quick decisions or hot-headed decisions at all, really. He's actually rather calculated so far. So I would agree with you there. Bernie, so I mean, it's a couple of things. Bernie, Russiagate, there's Russiagate, they're far and few, though.
I'm absolutely not on the fence on these issues. If Bernie does not make it as our nominee, I will not be voting for Hillary.
And that was the fact. What part of we're not going to vote for Hillary Clinton didn't they understand?
It is no secret that Hillary Clinton and I disagree on a number of issues. That is what this campaign has been about. That is what democracy is about. Hillary Clinton will make an outstanding president, and I am proud to stand with her tonight. Thank you all very much.
And that was the big kerplunk. The big kerplunk. Rather than, I know, all his people were outside screaming out the door, because when he was inside saying that, the Bernie supporters were outside saying this.
This is what democracy looks like.
We know there was election fraud in some states, and it is being ignored.
We are the 99%.
They have to be investigated and held accountable for their actions. They have stolen this from Senator Sanders.
Oops. Yeah, I mean, stolen election, right? That's what she said. Are they right? Here's some more action. Listen to this.
To put Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine in the White House.
There's this lady trying to speak, and they're just like chopping her up.
Not an economy where
The TPP stuff, you remember?
An economy where everyone pays their fair share. An economy where if you...
It was loud in that place, man. It was loud. They got robbed. It was a theft.
Over the next 4 days.
I mean, I'll recap if you want how they're going to do it again. I mean, it's already obvious. It's already, the writing is on the table how they're going to do it in this time. Last time they just out and out cheated, but this time it seems to be more of a, this is what the rules say. The rules say 50%.
We're going to hear from the leaders of our country.
I don't want to listen to this lady. Let's listen to these kids.
Pursuant to the convention rules, we will now proceed to a roll call vote.
I am really emotional.
You know what's fucked up too. You can't blow these people off as snowflake, because they're not. This is the opposite. The snowflakes. These people fought their ass off, right? Most of the Bernie delegates were there on their own dime. Nobody supplied them. Nobody paid their way. All the Democratic establishment people, those people are not on their own dime. Their unions paid. Their fucking, I don't know who else paid. Whoever the hell pays for them to get there. But a lot of the Bernie people, if not all of them, were there on their own money. They spent their own money on hotels, and you know, and it really is sad. So you can't call them snowflakes. They got robbed.
Like I said, I just feel like the country is making a huge mistake in nominating this woman. We had the most perfect candidate, Bernie. Everyone loves Bernie.
My fellow Democrats, I'm being second the nomination for Hillary Clinton.
So I'm upset. I just can't believe this is the end. Bernie's track record of working for us is beyond compare, and we are nominating a second-rate corporate sellout when we could have had Bernie, who has stood up for us for the last 30 years. So you can imagine why I'm upset.
For me, the presidency is not something that you're entitled to. You have to work for it. People have to trust you, and she's going to have to earn that trust. I understand his position somewhat. I don't understand the ins and outs. But what I do know is that this has never been about just Bernie Sanders. This is about us. And this is about our issues that we want, that we don't see being talked about.
Do you plan on voting in November? Who would you vote for?
Of course I plan on voting.
Will you be supporting Hillary?
If she can earn my trust, if she can prove, yes, it is always open. I'm not a closed-minded. None of us are closed-minded.
Nope. That sure was a miscalculation. Remember, hindsight is 2020. We already know the outcome of this, right? Because these people are sitting there in July, August, September, October, November. 4 months away is the actual election. And they're saying that there's no way they're going to vote for Hillary. They're going home. They're taking their ball and going home. Right? And the Democratic Party saying, nah, they'll come around. They'll come around. What are they going to vote for Trump? He can't win. Right? They try to smack people into conformity, into conformity, conform. Vote for our candidate. And it didn't work out. Right? So, let's see what else we got.
He says, does anyone have a
We won't vote for Hillary. Hell no, DNC. We won't vote for Hillary.
It's kind of obvious. There are lawsuits pending, of course. Racketeering charges, which include Hillary Clinton, the Democratic Party, certain elite people, and also media. CNN and MSNBC are also in this racketeering lawsuit, where they came together pretty much to shut Bernie out. I mean,
It is a racketeer. It is a racket. I mean, she's right in that, but to prove it against the establishment itself, that's what people fail to realize. You're challenging the actual establishment that sets the rules, that pick the judges, that assign, that control the courts. You can't win. But that's what it is. It is racketeering. When you have the media working hand in hand with, paid operatives and super PACs with $1 billion, and you could easily, create a racketeering conspiracy.
pretty obvious. In recent days, people saw emails alluding to that fact, that's pretty much what they had planned. That's no surprise to us. This is how we've been thinking for a very long time. It is surprising to people who have not been following this, or maybe Republicans who weren't that interested, but to us, it's been pretty obvious. Because with the fraud, we were given provisional ballots that didn't count. Brooklyn, 160,000 Bernie supporters were deregistered from the DNC.
200,000.
And to think that those people are ever going to want to vote for the Democratic Party when their registrations were removed in Brooklyn, which is dominated by Bernie supporters, when registrations went up in every other area of New York. Why do we vote for this party? So we are here to be heard because we're mad.
Because
she's not my candidate of choice. She's in this for herself and the 1%. Bernie Sanders is in it for Americans, all Americans. So we're fighting the corruption from the DNC. I came all the way from Tennessee just to let them know I am not happy with the corruption and the election fraud that is happening.
The way that the process went really rubbed me the wrong way. The irregularities, starting from the beginning, I think that Hillary wasn't prepared to have an honest campaign. At no point did she, deviate from doing traditional fundraising from corporate America. And early on, she was trying to out Bernie, and she was losing badly doing it. She finally found her footing, so to speak, but not before she lost a significant amount of people. She tried to claim the progressives, and progressives don't want to have anything to do with her.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they did. We've got a few more. So here's another CBS report.
Via Skype from outside the convention here in Philadelphia. So, Steve, we understand a number of Bernie Sanders.
This is more of a mainstream media spin.
Hey, Elaine. Yeah, we're at the media center, which is just outside the arena where the convention's going. See what's going on inside.
Our staging, and I want to see if there's
low audio.
Someone at the center of it.
They made this kid look like a jerk.
Ask them some questions on our behalf. In fact, they're right now.
It's a little choppy.
We're on CBSN. Why are you guys sitting in right now? Are you upset about Hillary Clinton as a nominee?
Yes, extremely. People are upset that the Democratic Party has not listened to our view of this. They have decided to choose a weak frontrunner candidate as their nominee, and I think it's pretty much put the nail in the coffin for the DNC. To me, it's kind of ridiculous that they would choose Hillary Clinton over a candidate that has like an 80% favorability, one of the highest favorability ratings in history of America.
I want to say that they keep saying staged a walkout. They didn't stage it. They did it. And not only did they walk out, but what happened was the DNC, because they didn't want to have the appearance of empty seats, what they were doing was they were actually, as the Bernie Sanders people got up and left, they were taking their seats. They were physically grabbing the signs, the no TPP signs, the oligarch signs, ripping the signs out of people's hands, right? Getting physical, having an actual thug team strip away the Bernie people of their literature, right? And when they got up, a lot of times their seats were taken when they came back. Right? They had an assigned seat, but when they came back, the seat was gone. And as time went on, what the Democratic Party was doing was they were actually hiring, allegedly they were taking out Craigslist ads in Philadelphia for actors. So if you wanted to sit in the chair, that was the gig, $100. You sit in the chair and you hold a sign, a Hillary Clinton sign, and you clap like an idiot. You clap like a seal, like a trained seal for an hour, for $100, right? That's how they filled up the seats. So in the final viewing of the DNC convention, it looked like harmony and it looked like a full house, everybody together. Like one would think that half the crowd was the Bernie people and they just fell in line. No, the Bernie people left the building and then they started to pile in paid actors, anybody who would take the seat and not act up. And if you did act up, they escorted you out of the building. So that's how that went.
And she has multiple fraudulence. She has fraudulence. She's still being investigated by the FBI for perjury now, and I just don't see why they would support such candidates. But
This kid's boring. What else? I think we got a few more.
because they feel that their voices have been silenced by the DNC?
There is a lot of talk among the Democrats right now, and I'm sure especially on mainstream media and whatever you're seeing on the news, saying that we are unified behind Hillary Clinton and that there is unity in the party. And there very clearly is not.
I am here and I walked out because I wanted them to know that I did not vote for Hillary Clinton. And my super delegates did not listen to me.
Honestly, the party has not earned the votes that they're asking for in November. The Democratic Party has basically gone retroactive and worked against Bernie Sanders.
That is not democracy.
Will you be voting for Hillary in November?
I don't know what's going to be happening in November, but I have 3 months to think about it.
No, I will not be voting for Hillary, period.
I won't be voting for Hillary in November.
I hope that Hillary Clinton wins.
Election rigged! Election rigged! Election
I need an acknowledgement that our electoral process needs some work.
Real people with real opinions.
We left because it's going to be real.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. We take up a little more room.
I guess the point I'm trying to drive home is that it's real. This is not. It's not made up. We have a rigged system, right? At least 50% of it that we know of, the Democratic Party rigs their primary. Right now, in 5 days, we're going to look at Iowa. Let's listen to this.
Unite? Is that their idea of unity? I don't think so.
I'm glad we left because it's going to be real.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. We take up a little more room.
I think it's a way of pushing back psychologically and saying that Hillary Clinton may be the nominee, but that doesn't mean that we have given up on anything.
We want to work with the party. The party's not working with us. They're not hearing us. So we came here to be heard. The DNC needs to be accountable. They need to be accountable for the emails, which proved everything that we felt happened during the election cycle.
I think we are treated unfairly, and I cannot trust Hillary Clinton. They played dirty cards and expect us to unite. Is that their idea of unity? I don't think so.
Bernie, a heroic figure, did what he needed to do inside the convention hall. The role of even our best politicians has certain constraints, and we as movements have more elbow room.
I think that Senator Sanders had an immense amount of pressure on him, and I think that, he did what he needed to do. He's been doing this far longer than I have, and I would never question the decisions that he made.
Yep. So, I think we got one more. It is. It's important. It's an important part of history that somebody just commented that this is an important part of history that people are trying, that the mainstream media unfortunately has been nearly forgotten this history. And it is a history, and we're right on the precipice of repeating this. If we fail to remember history, then we're doomed to repeat it. Right? I haven't forgotten. I mean, I back Bernie, but I have no illusion whatsoever that the process is fair at all, and I think I say it on a daily basis. The rigged primaries, the rigged tallies, the rigged polling. It's rigged. The rigged process. Never forget what happened in Philadelphia. Don't forget. Right? As we move into Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Milwaukee in July, I guess it will be early July 2020, we'll get a repeat. Are a lot of these people going to fall for the same shit again? Are they going to dig in their own pockets and get on planes and fly there, and if they already know it's rigged? I doubt it. I think it's going to be even more cut and dry. No Bernie? Bye-bye. That's the way it is. And why Bernie? Why Bernie? Is he just an old grandpa figure? Oh, we love Bernie. No, it's the policy. It's the policy. He's the only one standing on the policy for the American people for all this time. That's why they get it. That's why people get it.
Hillary Clinton was declared the official nominee.
All right. So, here's a very important thing. Press tent.
This seems like a long time ago, right? And we already forgot. 1968 was like this too. 1968, same story. That was the last time the Democrats held a brokered convention in modern history. It was Robert Kennedy and then Eugene McCarthy running neck and neck, and they both had a couple of million votes, and Robert Kennedy got shot, and because nobody got half the vote, I guess, or whatever it was, they brought Hubert Humphrey's name into the mix, and Hubert Humphrey became the candidate and went on to lose to Nixon in a brokered convention. So the only time in modern history there was a brokered convention by the Democrats was 1968, where they lost to Nixon. And so if they should try to pull it again and try to strong arm the American people into voting for the shit sandwich that they pick, then it's just not going to work. Then it's Trump 2020, no doubt about it. Trump's still the favorite. But again, if Bernie Sanders squeaks by, if he is the nominee, you're going to see this whole wave of people actually believe that the Democrats are on their side. And that's the only way they could prove it at this point. Give them their candidate, the guy who rightfully won in 2016. Give them their candidate, right? Let him accept the nomination, right? Let all the other candidates bow out leading into the convention. Let them know for certain that he is the candidate, and you'll see. You could see I think you'll see all these people come back. But until then, it ain't going to happen. They're all sidelined right now. Oh, this is a really long video. There's a clip in here of I found. Check this shit out. It's Tim Pool. Tim Pool is in here. There he is. Watch this.
Yes, thank you.
Oh shit, Tim Pool.
So he's saving my phone because it's about to die. I wish so many people weren't wearing stickers on their lips because I'd love to see what they're saying. I'm going to go ahead and tweet this Facebook Live feed so that other people can see it on Twitter. So this is pretty insane how you've covered a bunch of stuff. Have you been to the conventions before?
Oh yeah. Yeah, in 2012 they were pretty boring. I wasn't there in 2008 though.
And was it anything like, this is kind of exciting compared to what
2012 was really, really weak. I think the most exciting thing we saw in 2012 was a cop in the middle of the street making loud noises and dancing, doing like a thriller dance.
That's fun.
Got like 1 million hits on YouTube.
Did you go to the RNC?
Yeah, RNC was nothing.
Yeah, this is like fun and more.
This DNC is crazy, man. At the DNC welcome party.
There's Tim Pool, Mr. I'm for Bernie. And meanwhile, he wasn't for Bernie at all. He was just there, Mr. Neutral. Yeah? Okay.
when it was wrapping up, all the Bernie delegates started protesting.
Listen, man, you got to be for somebody in this life, right? You got to be for something. Stand for something, goddammit.
And chanting for Bernie. They started screaming like roll call vote, no TPP, and that's when we knew we were expecting something like this, because this, what was that, day one? I think we're on day two. No.
Yeah,
that was the day before the DNC even started. They were protesting, and then yesterday you hear all the booing. They even booed Bernie Sanders.
That was our votes. Do not steal the election. Count every vote.
We must remain calm and united. Oh, and we're waiting to go back into Black Lives Matter.
Okay. Wait, what's your name?
Kimberly Tucker.
And where are
they
you
got
from?
robbed.
Chesapeake, Virginia.
Chesapeake, Virginia.
So, Marcus Conte reporting. I hope that
And why
was.
are you protesting?
I don't have much else to add to this, but that's what we got going on, man. It's a stroll down memory lane, right? You have this. We're at a point right now where is history going to repeat itself? Are people so beat down that they just don't believe in the system anymore? That, oh, no, they're going to cheat. They are going to cheat. And so what's the point? And we'll just go along with whatever shit sandwich they offer us. And it's just elections. It's the left-right paradigm. It doesn't matter. They're just fighting amongst each other. And the corporate oligarchs and the Zionists are going to win out anyway. If that's your view of the world, if that's your world view, it certainly is not my world view. You know what my world view is? When I was a garbage cop, I used to walk around. Before that, I used to love to garbage pick. And yesterday, I was doing a little garbage picking. I found this. I found some children's books. Let's look. Favorite colors. Ernie loves red. Ernie loves red. And Big Bird loves yellow. It's fucking cool, right? Oscar is green. It's precious, right? Oscar is green. Grover loves blue. I don't know who Grover was. I don't remember this character. Grover. And Natasha loves pink. What is your favorite color? That's the end of the book, right? That's awesome, man. It's an awesome little book, a little Sesame Street book. What else did I find? I found one other thing. Japanese children's favorite stories. See what the Japanese are teaching their kids. Let's see. Japanese children's favorite stories. Let's see. Peach Boy. Peach Boy. Hello, Peach Boy. I'm a boy, and I'm a peach. Peachy. What else? Some colorful stuff. I'm going to read it. I'll read a few stories, see if I can get any. You never know, man, because when people are talking to kids, they actually speak honestly. Silly Saburo. Silly Saburo. You know what I'm saying? Garbage pick, man. One man's garbage is another man's treasure. Right. I wonder what kids read this. Right. I wonder what they thought of it when they read the stories. Right. So, Marcus Conte reporting. It's noon on a Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, I guess it is Tuesday. I'm a little senile from the but the fever broke. I don't have a fever anymore. I was just very sick for the last few days with the flu. Right now, I'm not sick anymore. I don't feel sick. I just feel a little winded. You know, that shortness of breath and from the cough. But I don't know. I'm going to keep watching. I want to, Iowa's going to be a big deal. Next Monday, we have the Super Bowl on Sunday. So another way to anesthetize the fact that something very, very important is going to happen on Monday, we have the Super Bowl Sunday night. So Super Bowl Sunday, and then the next day, Iowa goes into the caucus from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. So we'll start to have results. Excuse me. I guess on February 3rd, we'll probably start to have results probably around 9 p.m. I guess so. We'll go live 9 p.m. 9 to 11, and we'll find out who won. It looks like again Bernie Sanders is going to sweep Iowa. A week later, New Hampshire probably going to sweep that one. Go on to Nevada, and probably do well there. There's a lot of cheating that goes on in Nevada. And also then to South Carolina, where the Obama tried and true will just want to see Obama's legacy. They'll probably go for Biden, and then we go right into right into right into. Excuse me. I made it an hour. Sorry, guys. But then we go right into Super Tuesday, where California. Oh, that's going to be epic, man. Bernie Sanders is going to win California. By how much? How much cheating is going to go on in California? The object for Sanders is to stop the other candidates from getting 15% or more. Because you don't get any delegates unless you get 15% of the vote. So that's what's going on there. So let me get out of this before I start choking again. So thanks everybody for watching, and you know what I'm saying. Marcus Conte reporting. I'm gonna do a little sound. Take you guys out. Some of my fresh mix. I'll do an afternoon mix. I don't want to get too antsy for it. What's going on here? I don't know why. Where's my volume? Oh, there it is. Give me